So what we're going to do is we're going to continue on with the top 3 exercises. Today's going to be triceps. So we're going to do majority cables because I know everybody has them, and it makes it easy for you to kind of manipulate what I'm showing you in your gym that you're currently at. So what we're going to start with is just a single hand cable, and so it's a combo that I like to do. So you're gonna stand straight up, so look at the angle of the cable, bend over so it increases your range of motion. And now the next thing, a lot of people stay here, but they have to bring that elbow back because it has to be tucked in. So now we're gonna underhand, you're gonna do this for 10. And then once you get to 10, what you're gonna do is all you do is switch over your hand, same position. You're gonna do 10. And then as soon as you get that 10 there, what you're gonna do is you're gonna stand up and you're gonna have your elbow right in front of your face, looking at the mirror. I like to put my hand here. Your hand's gonna be pretty much at the opposite ear. You're gonna extend. Notice that my elbow's not traveling. You can even put your hand here if you like, as a gauge, because somebody's biggest cue is they're gonna twist their body to make it easier, or they're gonna use momentum. You're gonna start traveling their elbow, which is just rear delt. So I want this to stay perfectly still, where you're just breaking at the elbow and you're extending your wrist. And you're gonna do that for 10. What you're gonna do is you're gonna do 10, 10, and 10. So 10 underhand, you're gonna switch to 10 overhand, and then switch to 10 crossface. What that's gonna do is gonna warm up all 3 heads of the tricep. And when you go into your heavier, more lengthening movements, as you get older, your tendons tend to get a little sore. So you need to warm that area up. So doing this kind of combo starting out, you can do lighter weights, you can warm your triceps up, warm the tendons up. And when you move on to your workouts, it's gonna be much more easier for you and lifting heavy. Moving on to exercise number 2. You're gonna use a V-bar. So what I mean by a V-bar is the bar is basically shaped like a V. So there are ones that are a little bit more sharper of an angle, but I'm doing a little bit further out. And what you're gonna do is the same angle as what you did for the single cable. So bend at the hips, bring those elbows nice and in, lean down so you get the full range of motion, and you're extending down. This is the exercise you can go a little heavier on. You don't want to get into that kind of motion. Like, technique on this one is paramount. So you need to keep your elbows tucked in, you need to keep your chest up and stay in this motion. You come down really, flex really hard. But a lot of people, when they get into they want to drop the pin down, they start doing this. And then they're using, basically you can tell that I'm using my body weight to get this thing down. If you want your triceps to grow, you got to isolate them. So just right here. Controlling that weight up and down. Not letting the weight slam back up. So nice, controlled. You're gonna do 3 sets of that. Going a little bit heavier, so you can get up around the 10 rep range. You can even go as heavy as 8 reps. But arms are something that's used in other body parts like shoulders and chest. So something like this, 8, but I prefer to get up to around 12 if you're preferring to go heavy. So this is exercise number 2. Now we're gonna do an overhead rope. So I'm gonna use the one, I prefer this one. It's one with the hoops. You can actually fit your hand right in. You can drive through that part of the wrist, but most people are gonna have one like this. So if you're doing one like this, you can actually grab the loop like so. You're still driving through that outer part of the wrist, but I just find it easier with this style of rope. So setup. So angle all depends on your shoulder mobility, in my opinion. So if you're coming up like that, yes, you are gonna have to bend at the hips and lean over. And if you have really, really, really good shoulder mobility, you can actually go from the bottom. Gives way more of a stretch, which I very much used to do. But as I've aged and had a few shoulder tears, That is something I cannot do anymore. So standing up nice and tall, you're gonna bring your elbows back, gonna get that full stretch. Again, driving on that outside part of the wrist, and away. Back to full stretch, and away. And away. This is putting lots of strain on the long head of the tricep. So if you want that big hangy tricep, when you open up your arms like this, you want that big hang and tricep. This is the exercise that's gonna give that to you. So going with this, you can go medium to heavy. What I like to do is go for 10 to 12, hold that stretch for 10 to 12 seconds, go for another 10 to 12, hold that stretch, and then try to go for failure. So again, you're not gonna use a heavy weight for that because you're going to consistent, there's always consistent pressure and tension on there. So you're not giving yourself a rest, it's more of an active rest because you're stretching with weight. So it puts a lot of pressure. You will get a massive pump out of that. And like I've mentioned before, pump is one of the precursors that I look for in a great arm workout. So you're definitely gonna get a huge pump doing it this style. So give it a whirl. All right, everybody, so that is my top 3 tricep exercises. So you get the combo, you get the V-bar pushdowns, and you get the overhead rope. Doing those 3 in sequence or in combination with your biceps, definitely gonna get you that massive pump. If you're doing them at the end of a chest day, make sure you use a lighter weight, but big thing is chase that pump. Get as much blood into there. Think of it as a balloon, and every rep, you're basically blowing more air into that balloon. So more blood, more growth, bigger arms. So right at you.